Should I proceed?
Yeah. Right.
Okay. These are the institutions that run the markets. You see the central banks, as I said, yes. These central banks, each and every month, they release what they call interest rates on each and every currency. For example, the euro, the dollar, the Swiss, each and every currency you see that we do trade, yeah? These banks release the interest rates each and every month. So when these interest rates are being released, when let's say last month the dollar was 0.50 and this month it comes when the dollar is 0.90. This means that the market is gaining momentum. The dollar, we might see it going up. If they come when the previous news varies has reduced accordingly, it means that when the market is losing, the currency is losing power, it's going down. Then the central banks still, that's why I put them up. They have the biggest effect in the market. Like the speech of these people, a speech of the governor of the Bank of England, it has a big effect on the market. You get it, yeah? So the interest rates, the risk and the speeches and everything that goes with the central banks, it affects the markets at a large point. Then we don't have the geopolitical events. I told about geopolitical events. These events happen in the world. For example, the wars, the political rallies, and mostly in these big countries. For example, when England was changing the prime minister, the dollar was affected. When the Queen died, when the Queen of England died, the dollar was affected. So these events that happen in the market, they run the market. You have to look into them before entering the market. That's why they always tell us to do what? To look at the news before using the currency pair. Then, what you should know about this still, when the interest rates are being released, or when these news are being released, we have what we call the monetary policy. The monetary policy is a statement. Let me write it here in my. Someone told me I write poorly, but may God forgive you. Very well. So, this monetary policy is being released. The monetary policy is a statement explaining as to why the news are being released in that nature. So, for example, when the interest rates are being released and every month, if interest rates, the dollar comes with the monetary policy, explaining as to why the dollar has this interest rates there. If let's say, we remember in COVID-19, America was one of the most affected countries in the whole world. So being one of the most affected countries, these big men tried as much as they could to push the market up, but America lost momentum. Due to COVID-19, we saw the dollar dropping down. Am I being clear? I don't know if I'm being clear. You told me if I'm not clear, and I try to simplify things. So when the dollar was dropping, there was what we call a monetary policy. When the interest rates were raised, they were low. So this monetary policy, I don't know. Yeah, thank you. I always learn using very software. You see this? The monetary policy. A statement showing us why these things are being released in that nature. Interest rates, these people are using them. Okay. I'll pass on to this. Okay. Let's try using Chrome because I'm familiar with it. Is it? This is not Chrome. This is the monetary policy. You see it here? A statement here explaining as to why the news have been released in that nature. These are all monetary policies. Yeah? They explain to you as to why the news have been released in that nature. Now here, let's see. Central banks These are the interest rates. You see them here? Central banks, this is a central bank. Eh? Am I being clear to you guys? So these are the interest rates being released at every month. They show you the next meeting when it will be there. So this month, I don't know whether this month is ending tomorrow. It has ended. We are first April. I'm sorry, sometimes when I first I forget. So very soon they are going to release the news. This is April 2028. We are in which month? April. Today is April 1st, yeah? Okay, so these are the interest rates. These ones where they are saying that the next meeting will happen on this date. Yeah? So these interest rates are being released by these big institutions, the large institutions, explaining us why the news are being released in that nature. So I was talking of the let me see. So I was telling about the interest rates here. So the news have to be given keen attention before entering the market. Most times when I'm doing my analysis personally, it's always on the weekend, like today and tomorrow. I look at the economic calendar. I look into the news. I look for the terrible news. This is what we call the terrible news, like here. Now, for example, next week. Next week is here. We are going to have news from the Japanese yen. At this time, it will be a Monday. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, next week on Monday 3rd, we shall have news on the euro. We look for the 3 stars. We shall have news on the Great British Pound, the manufacturing PMI. We shall have the ISM manufacturing PMI, and then on Tuesday, and so. So when we come on investing.com, we look at the 3 stars. When you go on the Forex Factory, there is this one. You see here, the red, and mostly I personally, to simplify this, I come here and I filter. You come here in the filter, Remember, we are only choosing the news with the red, When I come in the filter, then I remove this, and I remove this, and I remove this. So, and I still apply filter. When I apply, they are showing me only the news with much volatility next week. Am I being clear? Hope you're seeing it on the Forex Factory. You just come here and you filter, then you only choose the news that have much volatility. So the news with the 3 stars, you have the 3 bulls on the Forex Factory still. We have those in the red. Those are the things that drive the market. So this economic data that is being released, it affects the market for a short period of time. For example, when we have the CPI and the NFP, let us hear the NFP. Okay. They can affect the market after the market in this right direction. Let's try to look here. So, you see these long candles. Let us look here for our. Okay. Let's go on the high time frame. It shows this what?
This group is separated.
Settings. Separator. The person the owner of this PC.
Is it in here?
Let us do this. So these long candles, let's get a candle of NFP. I don't know if I can do this one. NFP. was this NFP?
Just go to the calendar of the NFP1 or May 21. The calendar, that's the best.
And then the last week it was which date?
Check the first Friday.
Next week we have NFP.
Yes.
We have next week NFP. Let's okay. It will be a Friday. So I was saying, these news affect the market for a short period of time. The events that affect the market here, we have unemployment rate, we have Nansanatraders, yeah, this year NFP. It will be at the New York opening, at 8:30. Okay. So let me explain to you something that is so crucial about this news. What I learned from our mentor and that. Sorry. Sorry. Let's get there one news. Get for me. Which news? We're going to
Use the initial jobless claim.
Initial what?
Jobless claim.
Initial jobless claim, eh? Its previous is, we have the previous and the forecast. This is the previous, eh? Then
What is your numbers? Use your numbers.
Okay. The previous is this side.
Yes.
Here, eh? Okay, let's say this one is 10.50 and this one is 10.90. Am I being clear? Eh? So when you see the previous, when the previous is bigger than the forecast, we expect this news to sell on the currency pair. For example, we have USD, JPY, eh? And the news are on the dollar, on the US dollar. When you go on the inflation.com and you see the previous bigger or smaller, if it is smaller than the forecast, we expect the news to buy. So we shall see this pair buying. If it is JPY USD, we shall see it selling. Am I being clear? I don't know. This is JPY USD. When the previous is smaller than the forecast, we expect those news to buy. When the previous is bigger than the forecast, we expect the news to sell. That means we shall expect to see the dollar either dropping or growing. Am I being clear? However, anything can happen in the market. I want you to notice that anything can happen in the market. Anything can happen in the market. Sometimes the news may indicate that we are going to either buy or sell, and we see it going contrary. However, we can use it as a confluence. Am I being clear? Anything can do what? Happen in the market. You have to always be keen before entering a trade. That's why I personally, our mentors always tell us, if you can't trade the news, just let them be. Because you can make a mistake. For example, you can have $10 on Monday, and you trade to $70, let's say $100. Then we have news on Friday. Let us say we have the NFP. Because the NFP is always a long candle. If it is going to go bullish, it is going to go bullish long. It happens once in a month, on the first Friday of a month, the NFP. It only happens once. You can make a lot of money, or you can lose a lot of money in just a second. We have the CPI. I personally, I fear the CPI. It is called a double sword by some colleagues of ours. It can come and buy, then at the same time sell. It can come and take out the stock losses up and even down. I fear the CPI personally, and when I see it, I run, because you can lose a lot of money. If you can't trade the news and you know you have no confidence in the news, at least you close your trades earlier before the news are being released. On Monday, was it Monday? We had news on the JPP. We had a speech of the governor of the bank of the race. I don't know. Though I was in the market it was the JPP JPY. It was going up. I was in some good profits. So I refused to close. The news was there at 11:45, if I'm not mistaken, and I refused to close. I thought that they were going to affect the market for a short time, and I was off. I left the phone down. I went in other stuff, as you know. When I came back, the account was Manu Arsenal 0-0. All the money was gone. It was in $150, if I'm not mistaken. It was $150. By the time I came back, there was 0.00. So I fed the brokers. That's the effect of the news. If you can't pay the news, you better let them be. Not all news that you have a great impact on the market. You should know that. However, you have to look at them as a confluence. Because they can make you to make, now the NFP, you can make a lot of money. I have a friend of mine, they had an account of $200. Then on NFP, he flipped the account to that was 1,000, 10,000, 14,000, yeah? 14,000, yeah? This is a lot of money. You make a lot of money on the NFP, just NFP. NFP can change your life or kill your life. So the issue is, you have to be keen, and mostly you have to look at the market structure, at most cases, the market structure. Because sometimes this news for the market structure. However, if you can't trade the news, just let them be. Most times when I'm making analysis, you have to look at the news at first, before even going on the chart. Go to investing.com, go to Forex Factory, whatever case you use, go there and look into the news. Look, you choose pairs, currencies that have the 3 bull news. After choosing them, then you see how to handle. I was telling you about the geopolitical events. You have to start following news. Our mentor most times follows news and tells that in this and this. Now, for example, I was following the saga going on in the USA, Putin, Russia, South Africa, when the ICC wants to arrest that gentleman. But when the BRICS, when we talk about BRICS, we have China, India, Russia, South Africa, they are 4. So these guys want to change their trading from the US dollar to gold when they trade using gold. Because remember, the dollar has much momentum in the world, on the world market. So when the dollar gains momentum, countries get money. When the dollar loses momentum, we see other countries' economy flipping down. So these guys want to change the trading of oil and into the gold standard system. So when this happens, this means that the dollar will be affected at a high rate because it has a great effect on the world economy. When these guys stop using the dollar, they will be affected. So we shall see the dollar dropping down. It will lose value and it will slope down. These things always happen in the world. A mere speech, that's why this guy is the president of the USA, the president of Russia, the president of the governor of the bank. That's why these guys their speeches are being written. A single word the president can talk, it can change the currencies, the flow of the market. Just one more a simple mistake can change the market. So you have to follow these events happening in the world. If the war in Ukraine affected the world, we saw some pairs losing momentum. So you have to follow the events happening in the world. Watch news. I personally watch each and every news. I'm also on the CNN, the BBC, BBS, Telephone, another we are always on the iron sheet. We are always fighting about the iron sheet. So you have to follow this news on the world globe. Look into the news. If you hear anything new, ask about your colleagues or our mentor. They will be guiding you accordingly. These things drive the market, the news. Some of you didn't know about the news, but you have to give a keen eye. I thought you have the central banks. These are the largest institutions. You can never move the market even if you make a lot of money than these institutions, because they invest a lot of money in the bank, in the market. And these guys are the guys called the men in suit. They're always watching our stop losses and take profits. So, like, for example, if I'm to go a little bit in the market structures, you can see, and the market is like ranging here. A lot of stop losses are here, and some guys are selling, others are buying. So these guys can't enter the market from here. There's here a supply or demand zone, I don't know, this zone here. They will come here and kick out the stop losses here. After, this is liquidity. Do you know about liquidity? They will come and sweep all the stop losses here, after which the market will go in this direction. So, this technical analysis, we are going to go deep in it with time. But I first wanted to talk about the news. Have you got any idea about the news? Look into those calendars. Look for the 3 whole news. Estimate what may happen. Look into market structure. Follow the monetary policy. Most times it gives you I personally I don't read it because it gives you a lot of time to read what. Mostly these things were simplified in those news that have been released. So these interest rates are risked each and every month by these banks. You have to look into them and look at the previous also to see what is going to happen. Then after, you look into the geopolitical events. If possible, look into the monetary policy that is being released on each and every news. Then after, look into the economic data. Because each and every week we have economic data that is being released each and every week. Am I being clear? Is there any question so far before I go back? Yes, please. Okay. You can just.
What my colleague is on what he has been sharing, we have those most important news, because also when you pay keen eyes onto them and you look at them, you can make some good money. That is if you read about them. I personally made some research on we have PCE. We have PCE, the CPI has talked about, NFP, these ones, even Fed, the Fed Reserve, or the Fed meeting. Then we have these ones which are sure at least every week you get them. The ones I've given, the initial jobless claim, jobless claim. Which are the best news? Game trading game.
No, we have the GDP, the gross domestic product.
Yes.
And we have you have talked about the manufacturing data.
Those ones. Actually, I was putting all the best ones. So, at all onekano kashua ko ukakubirawo buli lwakuna kabirawo every Thursday. The initial jobless claim, let me talk about the initial jobless claim. You know, in the US, people file for bankruptcy or people file for unemployment. You understand? Say they were 15. The other say, "Who you don't know about government is what." So, the initial jobless claim is released on every Thursday of every week. Good week, every Thursday. I want you to note that. What's there? The previous week, previous week, how many people have filed for unemployment? And how has unemployment affected the US economy? You know how unemployment affects the economy. If people are unemployed, that means the money center saturation, no taxation. The white people now and now start affecting us. Taxation or tax from people, slowing the minimum. And it's a two-sword. It is two-sided sword. Abantu abatebalina mirimu bagenda kuongeza bagenda kuteeka what we call interest rates. Bagenda the interest rate news. They are going to lower the interest rates on money borrowed. Abantu bagenda bewola sente bateeke mu capital waabwe bafune emirimu. So that's how it affects Chile two-way traffic. It either affects or it's of advantage. So you have to pay attention to these ones. Every Thursday, I'll go show at least. So that's what I had to share. Every Thursday, initial jobless claims. I want you to make, this one is obvious, everyone knows it. NFP, the non-farm payroll. Yes, release the first Friday of every month. And you had a shoe and I assured. I have a screen recording. So, yeah, you make research on these ones. PCE, the Fed Reserve, and the GDP. Those big news.
May I have a question?
Yes, question.
Do the news respect structure?
News complete.
Okay, like NFP and any other most volatile, do they respect structure? Because he's out, but he's the one I wanted to ask that question.
When I was reading BTMM, these BTMM guys, Steve Morrow, if you know, yeah, news complete setups. Period. News just complete setups. Let's give an example of today we have been bullish, right? We've been bullish. To a big fair value gap here. Over the market is bullish. We are trying to get a complex pullback to some supply zone over bearish order block over the 50 level ICT abazino over Kakugambe 80. It's here. Tonight is release on Thursday afternoon. What will it do? If it's CPI, please offer a name. Twina types is a new zilibili. We either have a continuation or what we seek and destroy. Either up and down, then we consolidate. Continuation, either to the upside or downside, or seek and destroy. It's a coagul nekida. It consolidates, then it continues. But most especially news complete setups. We are bullish. We have this fair value gap and all that stuff. This is a bearish panic and all that stuff. But we have this fair value gap. They release the initial jobless claim or NFP. We might get this, we complete this setup, then we continue. I want you to pay keen attention. These news releases are sometimes line in line with the session opens. Most especially NFP. I think it's 3, this side, 4:30, 3:30. 4:30. Most especially. This is when markets open. Right? So zibera zigama. Either please okuba the Asian, these were the Asian highs, market Neselinga, London, New York open, they take out the Asian highs, filling the fair value gap, that is completing the setup. They take out the Asian highs, I take together whether they fill this fair value gap, then they react from there. Or nafuna change of character, they sell off. So news just complete setups. That's all I have to say about them. And when news creates highs and lows of the day, we don't expect a return. What am I meaning? Highs and lows of the day. Nti olunaku luguddewo ni London egulawo sawa 5 is Uganda, right? Sawa 5. Tugenda ndisaba sessions ezo. Someone is going to discuss about the sessions. So when news create highs, that means that tugenda kuddamu komawo. If this is a 4-hour candle, it opens from here it creates a high, this is the high, then it starts selling. This is London, right? There are no chances of coming back in New York. When you create highs or lows of the day, we're not coming back. The same applies sometimes to some extent. Weekly highs and lows, they are always formed on Wednesdays and Thursday or middle of the week. Weekly highs and lows. So when you create highs and lows of the week, or of the day, they come out. We continue with the structure. Have you got me? Your colleague? If not got me, dive home. We have to dive that home. If you want to make a zoom on those days.
So how do you know that this is the law? Because the argument was then the person that I identified what the problem and place the this.
How do you define the law? Of the day of the week. Of the day. Of the week. Most especially lows and highs of weeks are formed on Wednesdays. Not Tuesday, around there. Middle. A week has between 5 days. Have you heard of price delivery? The DCC? Wait for this. Sorry. Highs and lows of the week is equal to Wednesdays or Tuesdays. That's what you have to get. So I want you to pay keen attention on these days, those 2 days. That's where we are likely to get the highs. Tuesday has come. What are we having? What is the market giving us? Together considering if it's use the daily time frame. That's how best you can see. We shall consider the previous 2 days. If we are on Wednesday, together considering the previous 2 days. Monday, let's say to the bearish. The whole week. This is Monday, then Tuesday. When it does come to Funye open. So this is the high, Monday the opposite. So this is the low, Tuesday the opposite. Tugena funa, to the bearish, to Funye low. Are you seeing me? The to Funye low, market has opened from here, it went down to continue with the structure bearish. We've made this is the low of the week and a focal low, then we continue. That is following the structure. Don't get a vow, taking a buying because you form the low. Have you heard it? What is often a news release or anything? Nature, Nicola either high or low, but most especially it has to follow the structure. If for the previous 2 days, man, the bearish, and yet just okay, later, bearish candle, how we are selling, we are continuing. So they just make this low, we come and buy. So I want you to pay attention to either the previous 1 day, previous 2 days. Tuesday and Wednesday, those 2 days. So that's how we see the lows or highs of the week. Okay. Vice versa for if we are toward the bullish for the previous 2 days, we push up, we make the high, then we start pushing down. One of the two is right. So am I good? Any other question? Yes. It happens on all pairs. If it's tradable. One thing I want to put in your is how many pairs do you trade, guys? I'm trading a pairs, man. How many pairs do you trade personally?
The volatile.
2. Well, how many do you trade? 1. Mameka, how many pairs do you trade?
The volatile.
The volatile. Which every pair is volatile. I was USDJPY. Nozunguwa kusawa 12. We are doing our Asian session, right? Ngoida set up a new sobola kuwa. Ku Asian open. Evila so wide. Not just New York open. Elegena kuwa volatile. So every pair is volatile. But there are those major ones. The Pukamantiva big boys we have Tuina the GU, that is GBP USD. Tuina UJ, Tuina EU. These two most traded EU, GU. So most traded. Actually, for me to ask this question, I wanted to bring this point home. This guy, Bruce Lee. You find us newbies, whenever you come and Tuesday, I want to trade DJ, I'm trading XSCHF, I'm trading JPY, I'm trading XZ, I'm trading ZA USD. Everywhere I come across high in a setup here. Not considering the spreads and all that stuff. I know you know about the spreads and all that stuff. Ntijagala set up here now to trade it. Man, this guy said, fear a man who practiced one kick 1,000 times. Don't fear a man who practiced 1,000 kicks one time. So it's better no for pay you. No one's gonna be the authority. I know Moman Kunasta. You guys know of Nasta? Yeah. Index. Nasta 100. Nasta 100. There are boys who trade this pair. Wali abagama is the Nikabakawa GU London session, New York session. I killed that pair. So I to have that one person Bagama. If it comes to GU, innocent. If it comes to Euro USD, the man in black, the financial to Mugamba. So Asada had news. Person always was it was about
claim.
The initial jobless claim.
Follow the same procedure the previous one.
Yes, indeed. As he said, yeah, he put it right. I want you to look at this. If you're using investing.com, we have the expected, we have previous, actual, and the forecast. Three things, right? If the previous initial jobless claim was 450K, you don't know the actual yet, you have not yet resisted. The no government forecast, around 440K. There. Actually, money, but you have these two. What do you do? Have you guys read the news before? Have you read the news? How did you trade them? Because these news are released at all data. Or you go up Wall Street. So how do you do it?
Bw'obanga ky'osuubira, for example, waliwo value gye bakuwadde nti tulina percentage distribution representing a percentage nti oba kati tuli ku 0.1% oba 1%. That is the previous kyekyaliko luli yatuwa 1%. Naye kye tusuubira okuba nti egenda kweyongeredde ku 2%. Kitegeeza value eyo erinnya eyambuse basuubira okuba nti tuli mu kwambuka. So the simplest thing kusinzira ku bwannyonnyodde nti tusuubira okuba nti twambuka n'akatale kali kwambuka kuba value zikola ki egenda kwambuka. Naye disclaimer, si a money maker, si gwe market maker, news ziyinza okujja nezikola ki nezikyuka. The whole thing nekikyuka. Gundi nebange gubadde okisuubira kwambuka naye netayambuka. So an increase in the value oba kitegeeza nti akatale kagenda kwambuka. It is like a bag. A drop means you would expect to be dropping in the market. That means you'll be selling. You expect it to be selling in the market. In the news, the news where they are effective, period news where they are effective, you expect it to be dropping with a drop in the value.
I think
in most cases, it is going to take the uptrend. Most cases.
Like
but
here? Like here?
Yeah.
Like here. Like this news here? The previous and the forecast were the same. This is what is trying to explain. Because sometimes the news may be released when they are the same. When you have the previous are the same and the forecast are the same, at a greater extent, these two. We have 4.4 and 44.4. So we expect the news to do what? To buy. Then we have speeches still. Let him conclude, and I'll talk about the speeches later.
Let me tell you something.
Should I proceed? Let me. Okay. Okay. I was talking about the speech. We have the speeches. Sometimes we have the speeches. These speeches, at most times, when the speeches are going to be released, for example, we have a speech. Let me see. Let me look at here for one speech. And here we have speaks here. We have the speech on the JBP. Though it's not a 3-bull news, but it's a speech. So if it was a 3-star news, most times when these guys are going to, when we see this speech at this time, most these big guys are going to first remove the money in the market because they are not sure of what is going to be talked about. Remember, they are not sure about the previous and the forecast. So they are in the dilemma. They will first withdraw their money from the market. So sometimes we can see the speech drop because these guys are removing the money in these currencies. Then when the news are being released, when they speak and it's bringing a positive impact in the market, we can see the market go up. Am I being clear? We can see the market go up about the speech. Then we've talked about the previous and the forecast. Let my colleague continue, then I'll be filing up the news session, then we'll go on the fundamental, the second.
Okay. I want you to see this thing. Tuina abagula tuina abatunda. Are you getting? Abagula bali 4,500, abatunda bali 4,500. Segeza bona benkanya sente. Tewali asinza munne. That's ekyo. The forecast actual releases a 450 bebagula. Tubadde tusuubira era abagenda okugula nga bali 450 oba abagenda okugula nga bali 450. Nti abagenda okugula n'abagula babeera mu forecast. Era bali ose ne bareleasinga amawulire actual ne gajja gagalagala nti abaguze babadde 4,500 n'abatunze babadde 4,500. Kyekiddako. It's a consolidation. We don't shoot up, we don't shoot down. We get a consolidation. Moment consolidation tekitegeeze. Tewali wasazeewo. Are you getting me? So that's what happens. Until when they release news, ngagabadde forecast ebadde 450, actually era nejjanga eri 450. We don't tewaberawo move yonna. Those are the news gowulira gegambye seek and destroy. Seek and destroy. Tugenda kwambuka tumale tuseeringe. Twambuka batuseeringe. Gabeerawo tegalina move. Are you getting? Ekyo kyobuuzizza. Wegajja nga genkana ki ekibaawo, we go to a consolidation. Kati njagala olaba, I've made this. This is previous. We've not yet known the actual. Kati forecast yaffe egamba nti 2,400 kankyogere mu Luganda. Tulina pair yaffe eri GBP USD. Are you getting me? Amawulire gaba good oba bad. One of the two. So njagala okole bwoti. Initial jobless claim, nategera initial jobless claim. Initial jobless claim, IDC. Balaze abantu 4,500 bafayirize for unemployment the previous week. 450 people. Ostegera. Is it bad, is it good for the USD? This. Is it bad or good? Njagala tubere interactive. We share ideas. Is it bad or good for the USD pair? Nti abantu 4,500 bagambye mwana mirimu tugifiiriddwa wiiki ewedde. What do you think? We have our pair, GBP USD. Are you getting? Tulina initial jobless claim, tulina amawulire agenda releasinga. Previous week eri eyagwa abantu 4,500 bafayiringa for unemployment tebalina mirimu. Week eno gye tulimu etandika katugambe Sunday etandika enkya. Tusuubira okuba our forecast nti abantu nga 4 kwabagana releasinga every Thursday. Nti Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday people have worked. then never handing in their reports, because they were going to releasing. They worked for those 3 days. We expect our forecast is the previous year 850 forecast is katugamba abantu nga olugambye the US dollar egenda mu kuzinga katugambye tusuubira okuba abantu nga 200K bagenda filinga. This is our forecast. Kino kye tusuubira. This is what we expect to come out. Kikyolowooza. This is GBP USD. Kati initial jobless claim mawulire gali USD. What do you think? What happens? What do you think?
If I saw the previous was high,
Yes.
then the forecast is low.
Low.
For the GBP USD,
Yes.
it will go what? Down.
It will buy.
Because no, because the GBP USD, GBP against the USD.
Kati kamugambeyo kati kankaze mu Uganda kalakali USD. Nti USD dola webwa amaanyi tugenda kukola GBP USD. Kitegeeza GBP eyongedde amaanyi. The US dollars lost value. Ositegedde mu Uganda nti USD we gaining amaanyi tugenda sellinga. It's good. That means if many people, if Katugambe actual, this is actual, this is forecast previous, 450, 500, 300. This is it. Actually 500. The actual is higher than the forecast. What do we do? Ekize kiri waggulu ne ku kye twasuubidde nti abantu 5 bagambe mwana ebintu tugifiirwa. It's bad for the USD currency, right? Kitegeeza tugenda kukola GBP USD. What are we going to do for it?
We shall buy USD.
Temporary science. All you need to know is these numbers.
So what is affecting some of us maybe where USD is it what?
This is a point. This is best. The first
Some
currency.
people will think that what?
Let me tell you something. The first currency pair is the best. The second currency pair is the point. So USD is quoting GBP. Bad news affecting this, we are buying. Good news affecting this, we are selling. Buy, sell. Have you got me? Take an extra one. Yes.
Investment we have this that guides us and it gives us direction on how to determine how the news will have that impact. So if you can use it here, for example, a higher than expected shall be taken as negative or bearish. So if you can use this terminology,
A higher
than expected
shall
be taken as bearish.
as bearish for USD, right?
Negative or bearish for USD.
Yes, for USD.
And while a lower than expected
Lower than expected, let's say this is 400,
shall be taken as positive
as buy.
or bullish.
Yes, thank you. This is if higher than expected, this is higher than expected. This was the forecast, and this is the actual. It's bearish for the USD. It's what? A new week. We are buying GBP USD. Have you got it now? If it's lower than expected, if the USD currency pair has gained value. That means we are selling GBP USD. That's how it has to be.
Yes.
So that's it. Any question?
Another thing.
Yes.
In case you have your setup shooting up in the middle, you're expecting to have your stop loss maybe after 50 pips above you. And then I'm just creating it. Then news is coming before you reaching your let's say your
Point of interest. Yes.
point of interest. And
Initial jobless claim.
is coming
Yes.
before you hitting your and according to the news, the forecast and the previous is pushing it down. So, what do you think? Stopping the trade, or it will first complete you? Because you say news completes setups.
This is the answer for that question. What does your trade plan say? You don't need to take any trade that because you've seen your or was Obidabi. This takes us back to what we started with. What does your trade plan say? Just because you've read this doesn't mean I trade. Are you following your trade plan? This is the big thing. That means if my trade plan is saying organic monetary bearish, right? One to some point of interest, our point, POI, no gamba, you're waiting for price to reach here. Trade planning gambas in such conditions. Trade planning inevitably you either wait or execute. If that's what your trade plan is saying. What am I trying to bring home? I either wait for price to reach my point of interest, or I don't take any trade. Are you getting me? Since I get unless price reaches my point of interest. So we get out with trade. Or just some other package is in one it bearish simanya biti. Descending ascending channels. When I say drop, I say consolidation. 1, 2, 3. I'm saying that's what his trading plan is saying. All these things work. Because it's a smart money one. All of the value gap. Consolidation. What am I waiting for? Ninda breaking. I wait for retest and buy. Or is again breaking this level. They retest it. I sell. I get it. What does your trade plan say? Trade plan. Best thing. Your colleague.
Okay. Perhaps I stop. So, bro, actually, I was looking here for something new. And we're going to go into some technicals because we are saying that our colleagues, we are soon big boy is joining us and FX Giant. They are soon joining us, inshallah, and they'll be here in a blink of an eye. Let's pray they have a safe journey. They are going to take us more and they're going to share much from them. So, as I'm concluding about the news, what you should know about the news, they have an effect on the market, but at a larger extent, look at the flow of the market and the market structure. That's what drives the market at a big percentage. However, take a keen eye on those news before joining any market. Make sure you're confident enough to join a market or to enter a trade after looking at the news. Then, ending about the news session, don't fear the news. Just have to understand how they move and how to easily accommodate them and use them in the market as you're trading. So, we've talked about the news and we've talked a lot, and I hope you guys have learned something. So I want us to go on some bit of technicals as our colleagues are coming because time is going and I don't know. Sorry? Okay, so ending the new session here, unless otherwise, if you have any questions you can ask and I will see how we can go over it and we see how we do it. And by the way, before I end the session, I want to tell you something little. We have what we call safe haven. Safe haven, we have currency pairs, currency index in safe haven. We have the US dollar, we have the Japanese yen, we have gold, we have silver. Guys, I'm going to be sorry for the handwriting, but I hope you arrive at it. So we have what they call safe haven pairs. Most times this silver is not considered a lot, unless otherwise when there is another pair. Safe haven, what I mean about safe haven, it's a term. Here I mean that most times our method told us about the US dollar and the Japanese yen. Most times when the dollar is buying, we might see the Japanese yen selling. When the Japanese yen is selling, at most times you can see the dollar buying. So these pairs are in what they call safe haven. Safe haven, what do I mean? When the dollar is being affected by the economy, let's say there is a war or something happening here, when it's being affected here, these guys, these big men, they will move money from the dollar and invest it in the Japanese yen. Am I being clear? Or in gold. Let me repeat this. When most times the Japanese yen is being affected, we shall see these guys moving their money, investing it in the US dollar. That's why sometimes you see the dollar being something contrary than the Japanese yen. They're in safe haven at a greater extent. However, anything can happen in the market. Because sometimes you can go on the currency index, we're going to talk about it, and you see both of them going up. But this, I want to talk about it in a bit, unless there are other pairs, I don't know, but this is what I know in the safe haven. When sometimes these stocks are being affected, we shall see these big men removing money from them and investing it in the dollar. This symbol is for the dollar, this is one for the Japanese yen, and this one is for the US dollar. So, that is about the news, and allow me to stop here. Unless otherwise, when there are some questions, some comments, or in addition or subtraction, before we go further to the current, to the analysis. Thank you.
Some guys from Life is asking whether, so someone has asked, if I don't get to set up 1 hour or 30 minutes before the news release, what do I do? What do you do if you don't get to set up?
Don't trade.
Thank you very much.
Don't risk your money. By the way, not every day is a trading day. Sometimes the market will refuse and you fail to get a setup.
There are people, there are traders who are sure, even if they don't do analysis, they have how should I call it?
No, but we need them to share what is that.
That's why in case they have their technique.
Where are you here in the first session?
No, I came there.
The word sure. Where does it come from? Where does the word sure come from? Trust, I think, trust. You're sure of something, you trust. The guys you're talking about, okay, by your technique.
They are sure 20 pips, but 30 pips.
We have this thing called experience. We have exposure. Our input. And what else? Teacher, they say. I think these 3 words create the word sure, which is X in the forex markets. Even the forex gurus, even the mentors, the ones we call mentors, they also lose money. So there is nothing like sure in the forex market. They tell you. I don't lose any trade. The trades and the roads are profits. Mugaba akolage history. Wajana akolaga nga temuli ready. Nga metawo oyo mugobe. Mugobe. There is nothing like sure in the forex markets, my brother. Let me tell you. The quality is sure. The guys you're saying, this guy is experienced. Steady. Nobody experience. They also lose. Now, second, whatever you people can, you will be near what I'm moving a market valuing. Yes,
actually, that is happening. One which I begin saying, what do them currency payers? I can easily identify the budget in one so quite pips is to them price digits here. Negative days are when you gold in the USD. Engage one pips. What was a price range? No longer movies at in the Kabazenga will have pips in Babisa.
and these things Do you have a plot these things, points and pips?
Yeah.
Are they different?
Yes.
They are different. So gold is calculated in points. Price pairs are calculated in pips. Where for gold, to value change in value. I get it. Change in the value of a dollar. For gold, change in value of a dollar. That one works on gold. This if price has been 1.8346 moving up, that means against equal 834 mega 8 from here 2 points. This is the change in value. It has changed by 2 points. The value has changed by 2 points. That means if I load load size here 0.01, this is 0 cents speed, right? 2 cents. So for gold, change in value to 1 point, then barrier this is a different. The last 4 digit, I think. Then for JPY, we manage a changing that. So, man, that's what.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, I think this guy is concluding.
Okay, remember, let me conclude with the news. Thank you. And I hope it has been insightful. It has been insightful. We are going to go something in technicals, because the biggest part is about technicals. That's why we're going to share a lot how the market flow, market structure, the confluences, and the confirmations, currency index. That's where we are going to start from, and so on and so on. So that's the part about the news. You shouldn't hear the news, but however, learn how to handle the news. If you can't trade news, kindly let them be and follow the other stuff. If you know that you can't trade news, look on those calendars, look for the days those pairs are going to be affected, and choose another currency pair. Most times when you're choosing a currency pair to trade, first look at the news. Then after we shall go on the currency index and we go further. Thank you for this session. We are going to have a break of I think 10 minutes, then we resume, because people forget. Because we are going into technical, and technicals carry the biggest part. I hope that is the biggest part we all want to know about the technicals. We are going to go back to technical analysis. As our colleagues are coming, they're going to share with us some concepts, and they're going to give us more confluence, and they'll be finding us on the way. We are supposed to have many people to present today, but people got some issues, and we are sorry for that. But on the next seminar, because it's going to be more bigger than this, we shall host a big seminar that will be more bigger than this, where we shall have even other people, even I don't know, but we shall plan accordingly. So thank you, wish you the best. So to those who